Hey viewers, Michael Warren here from Essential Guitar Lessons, and let's learn how to play Fear of the Dark on guitar by Iron Maiden. Now this one's for intermediate players to advanced players. Most of the rhythm's intermediate, the solos, some of the parts can be quite advanced. And we'll cover all the guitar parts and do the solo at the end. Remember, if you're having any problems with the song, please leave a comment and I'll get back to you. And let me know how you go with this one. And if you could, like and subscribe, songs and lessons uploaded weekly. So let's get into it. So for the intro, we're going to start on the 7th fret on the G, play it once. Then jump to the 7 on the D, play it 2 times. Back to 7 on the G 2 times. 9 on the G 2 times. 10 2 times. 9 2 times. 7 2 times. And back to 9 2 times. So slowly. And then we can come back to the 5 on the G, play it once. 5 on the D 2 times, back to 5 on the G 2 times, 7 2 times, 9, 7, 5, all 2 times, and the last one just played 9 once on the G, and back to 5 once on the G. So that one's a little bit different there, so slowly. And we do that section through 2 times. And then it changes there. Now we come up to the 7th fret on the D 2 times, 7 on the A 2 times. And it's basically repeating, but we're up a string. So back to 7 on the D 2 times, 9 2 times, 10, 9, 7, 9. So slowly. Then come back to the 5 on the D 2 times. 5 on the A 2 times, back to 5 on the D 2 times, 7 2, 9 2, 7 2, 5 2, and then like we did the other part, just play 9 once and back to 5 once, so slowly. And then repeat the 7 again, starting on the D string, so 7, 7 A, back to D, 7, 9, 10, 9, 7, 9, and then to finish off we're going to come back to 3 on the D 2 times, 3 on the A 2 times, back to 3 on the D, 5 on the D 2 times, 7 2 times, 5, 3 2 times, and then just finish on 7 1, 3 1 there. And that's the first part of the intro, so let me play that whole thing through slowly for you, then we'll do it up to speed. That's the first part of the intro. Now let's try that up to speed. Nothing too hard there. And then for the next part of the intro, we've got a clean guitar playing, we've got a rhythm and a bit of a solo as well, so let's have a look at that now. So then for the next part of the intro, on the clean guitar, we're going to play 5 on the A string, 7 on the D, so just a D power chord, and we're just going to play 5, 7, and we're going to do that 4 times with a bit of palm muting, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we come back to the B flat, 1st fret on the A, 3rd on the D, we do the same thing. 1, 2, 3, 4. Come up to the C, so 3rd fret on the A, 5th on the D, we do the same thing again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now this time we go back to the B flat again, we just play 1, 3, 1, 3, and then move up to the C and 3, 5, 3, 5. So let me do that part slowly for you. up to the C. Then we just go back to the D, we do the same thing again. 3, 4. The B flat, same again. 3, 4. Then we finish on the C, but we're going to do it for 2 bars, so we're doing it 8 times. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And we play that whole section through 2 times and a little solo over that, and we'll have a look at that in a second. So we play that up to speed for you, nothing too hard, just a bit of arpeggio picking with some palm muting. And just do that through 2 times. So now let's have a look at the little solo part playing over that. We're going to start on the 7th fret on the D and then jump to 7 on the G. So, and then on the B string, 5, 6, 8, 6, 5, and then back to 5 on the G. So, and then we're going to do 5 on the D, 5 on the G, 5 on the D again, 3 on the G, and then do 5, slide up to 7 on the G, back to 5 on the G, 6 on the B, and 7 on the G. So, and then we're just doing that first one again. 7, 7, 5, 6, 8, 6, 5, 5. And then there's a pause there, and then he just repeats that through 2 times. So we play that up to speed as well. Nothing too hard there. And just do that through 2 times. And that's our intro there. And then we have our verse. Let's have a look at that. So for our verse, we're going to be doing the same arpeggio picking that we did just in that last intro. We're going to start on the D, 1 bar, so 5, 7. Back to the B flat, 1 bar. C, 1 bar. Go back to 1 and 3, the B flat, 2 times. And C 2 times. And we play that through 2 times there. Then the next one, the 3rd time through, again we start on the D, 4 times the B flat, 4 times, the C 4 times. Now this time we're going to change the 3rd fret on the D and the 5th fret on the G, so we're playing an F 2 times, so 3, 5, 3, 5, and then move up to the G, so 5 on the D, 7 on the G, and 2 times there, 5, 7, 5, 7. Then we just go back to the D again, 1 bar, so 1, 2, 3, 4. The B flat, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then to finish that off, we're just playing the C and doing that for 2 bars, so 8 times there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And that's our verse there, so nothing too hard once you've got that intro down. So let me play that up to speed for you. That's our verse there, and then from there we go into our chorus. Let's have a look at that now. So our chorus is going to continue with the arpeggio picking. We come back to the B flat, 1 on the A, 3 on the D. We do that for a bar, so 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. Come up to the C, 1 bar, 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. Come up to the D again, same. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then come back to the C, 1 bar. 1, 2, 3, 4. Come back to the B flat, again 1 bar, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we're going to do something similar we did in the verse, come up to the F, so 3rd fret on the D, 5th on the G 2 times. And then up to 5 and 7, 5 on the D, 7 on the G 2 times. Then we come back to the D, 1 bar. And then we do that again for another bar. come back to the B flat, 1 bar, C for 1 bar, up to the D for a bar, back to the C for a bar, the B flat for a bar, to our F, so our higher notes here, half a bar, to our G, back to our D, and we're going to do sort of a bar and a half here. So we do 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then in the last one we're going to do 1, 2, and just finish on the 5 there. So 5, 7, 5, 7, 5. And that's our chorus there. Nothing again too hard once you've got the arpeggio picking there. So we play that up to speed for you. And that's our chorus there. Then we have what we're going to call Riff One coming up, so let's look at that now. So we're going to jump to our heavy guitar now, and we're going to call this Riff One. We're going to play 5 on the A string 2 times, 7 on the D 2 times, 5 on the D 2 times, back to 7 on the D 2 times, 5 on the A 2 times, 7 on the D 2 times, 5 on the D 2 times, and then just 1 on the 7 on the D once. And we do that 3 times. So we play that slowly. And then to finish that off, we're going to play 5 on the A, open A, back to 5 on the A, 7 on the A 2 times, 8 on the A 2 times, back to 5 on the D 2 times, 8 on the A 2 times, and then just 7 once on the A. And then we're going straight back to the riff. We do it through 2 times. So that last little bit slowly. So it's not too hard there. It can be a little bit quick if you're first starting out. So let's give it a go up to speed there. And from there we're going straight into our verse, and we're going to call that part Riff One. So let's have a look at our verse now. So for our second verse, we're just going to start on the D power chord, 5th fret on the A, 7 on the D and the G, and we play that 2 times. Then come back to the B flat, 1st fret on the A, 3rd on the D and the G, 2 times. Up to the C power chord, 3rd fret on the A, 5th on the D and the G, and back to the D 2 times. And we just play that 2 times through, and that's our verse. So pretty easy. Let's play that up to speed. From there we go into our second chorus, so we just go starting on the B flat once, to C once, to D once, back to the C once, back to the B flat, and then an F power chord, so 1st fret on the E, 3rd on the A and the D, and up to G, so just slide it up 2 frets, and finish on the D power chord and hold that for 2 bars. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And we just do that through 2 times. Let's do that up to speed. Then from there we have our third verse, and this changes a little bit from the second verse. We're going to start on the D again, then drop back to the B flat once, C once, and then we're going to play the D, C, and back to the D. Back to the B flat, and then this time hold the C for 2 bars. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Come back to the D once, the B flat, the C. Now this time we're going to play the F, G, back to C, back to B flat, and finish on the C and hold for 2 bars. 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's our third verse there. So it changes from our second verse. Let's play that up to speed. And that's our third verse here, nothing too hard. Now let's have a look at our next chorus. So our third chorus changes again. We're going to start on the B flat, we're going to play it open, then do 2 palm mutes, open again, and 2 palm mutes. So, and we're going to keep that pattern for all the chords. And we come to the C, same pattern. Off, palm mute, off, palm mute, palm mute. Come up to the D, same again. Back to C, same again. Back to the B flat, same again. Now we're going to the F and we're just doing it once. So off and then 2 palm mutes. Come up to the G, off, 2 palm mutes. So. And then we're jumping back to the D, and this time we're doing it for 2 bars. So. And we just do that through 2 times. So let me do it slowly first for you, then we'll do it up to speed. And let's do that up to speed now. And that's our third chorus there. From there we go back into Riff One again. So, and we do that exactly the same as before. Then we have this little solo after that, so let's have a look at that now. So for this little solo we're going to start on the 7th fret on the G, then on the B, 5, 6, 5, and then do 6 pull off to 5, back to 7 on the G, and then do 7 pull off to 5 on the G, 8 on the D, 8 pull off to 7 on the D, 5 on the D, and then just do a bend on the 7 on the D, bend and release here. Just a little half bend, so slowly. And then we're basically repeating that again. 7 on the G, B, 5, 6, 5, 6 pull off to 5, 7 on the G, 7 pull off to 5 on the G. Now this is where it changes. 8 on the D, 8 pull off to 7, back to 5, and this time we jump back to the G and play 5, 7. Now it changes again. We're going to play 7 on the D, 7 on the G, and then we do that again. 7D, 7G, jump to the B, 5, 6, and then 8 pull off to 6, pull off to 5. Go back to the 7D, play it 2 times. 7 on the G, back to the B, 5, 6, 8, pull off to 6, pull off to 5. G string 7, pull off to 5. And then we're going D string 7, 8, 7. And then we're basically repeating that again. We've got the 7 on the D, 7 on the G, and then 2 7s on the D, 7 on the G, onto the B string, 5, 6, 8, 6, 5, pull off. 2 on the 7 on the D, 7 on the G, back to the B, 5, 6, 8, 6, 5, pull off. And then go G string 7, pull off to 5, 8 on the D. Now we're going to jump to the B string, 10th fret, do a bend, and then just play the 10th fret. And that's that little solo there, and that leads us into the main solo, which we'll cover at the end. So let me play it slowly for you first, then we'll do it up to speed. We'll do that again. See where it changes. And that's that solo there. Now let's try that up to speed. There's not a lot of different techniques in there, so it's not too hard. And that's the solo there. From there we go into the main solo, and we'll do that at the end. Let's have a look at the rhythm behind that first. So for our solo rhythm, this is pretty easy. We're just going to start on the D and hold for 2 bars. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Come back to the B and just hold that for half a bar. 1, 2, come up to the C, sorry, B flat there. Then the C for 2 bars. And then back to the D for a bar. 2, 3, 4. And just repeat that through 2 times. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Do that again. Then it changes for the second solo. We're going to go to this F sharp bar chord. So 2nd fret on the A, 4th on the A and the D, and hold that for 2 bars. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Coming up to the D, hold for half a bar. Now we're going to come up to the E, so 7th fret on the A, 9 on the D and the G, hold that for half a bar. And then back to the F sharp for a bar. And just do that through 2 times, so it's pretty easy again. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And repeat that 2 times, and that's the solo rhythm. From there we're going back to the same picking we did for the chorus. But we're going to do that for 2 bars on the D. So we've got off, mute, mute, off, mute, mute, off, mute, mute, off, mute, mute, and 2 bars. So we end up doing the off 8 times. Then go back to the B flat and do exactly the same thing. Then we're coming up to the G. Now this time we're just doing it for a bar, so we have 4 on the offs. And then we're coming up to the A, so 5th fret on the E string, 7th fret on the A and the D. This time we're going to do off, mute, mute, off, mute, mute, off, mute, mute, off, and then jump to the D and hold for 2 bars. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And there's also a solo playing over that. We'll have a look at that in a minute. So nothing too hard there. We play that through 3 times. So let's do that up to speed. Play that through 3 times there. Now let's have a look at the little solo that plays over the top of that as well. So the solo is going to start on the 7th fret on the G string. We play it 3 times. Then jump to the E string, 5. Then to the B string, 6, 8. And then jump back to the G string, 7 again 3 times. And then 5 on the E. And then the B string, 6, 8, 6. So we have Then we're going to jump to the 8 on the D string, play that 3 times. Then 6 on the B, 7 on the G, 5 on the B. Then back to 8 on the D again, 3 times. 6 on the B, 7 on the G, 5 on the B, 5 on the G there. So slowly. Then we're jumping to the 5 on the D 3 times. G, 7, D, 8, G, 5. Now changes here, 7 on the D 3 times. 6B, 7G, 5 on the B. And then go 5G, 7 on the D. And then 7G, 7D. 7G back to 5G. So 7 on the D, G, 5, 7, and then back to 7 on the D, 7 on the G, 7, 5, and then to finish that off, 7 on the D, G, 5, 7. And we do that through 3 times. The second time through, we don't play the 7 3 times at the start. We don't do it. We just play it once. And on the last time we play it, we leave out the last 7, 5, 7. On the third time, we just don't play that last bit. So let me play it through just slowly for you first. See, we're just playing 1 there. So let's try that up to speed now. And we do that through 3 times there. The first time there's no singing, then he sings on the next 2 times. So let's have a look at the next part. So from our solo bit, we're going to go back to our Riff One again. And then from there we're going into the 4th verse. Let's have a look at that now. We're just starting on the D once, the B flat once, the C once. Now we go F to C, back to D, B flat, and C hold for 2 bars. 2, 3, 4 there. So let's do that up to speed. We just do that 2 times through. And do that again. From there we're just going back to the 3rd chorus again, so with our on-off palm muting, and we play that through 3 times. And then to finish off, we're just going to do our B flat, to our C, to our D, back to our C. Then we just play 2 times on the B flat, F for 1, G for 1, and then D for 1. Off that chorus. So we end up playing it through 4 times. The last one changes a little bit. So let me just play it a couple of times through for you there. From there we just go back into our second intro with our arpeggio picking. We play that exactly the same, and our guitar too is doing a little solo over the top of that, and that's exactly the same as well. So now let's have a look at the solos as well. Let me play it for you, then we'll break them down. for our first solo, we're going to play the open G and B, and then we're going to bend on the 12th fret G and hold the 13th fret on the B, and then again bend on the 12th fret, bend and release, pull off the 10 on the G, play 12D, 10G, so we have. Then play 12 on the A, 10 on the D and the G, and do a bend on 12G. And then we're just playing 10 on the B and the E 3 times, 1, 2, 3, so we have. Do a bend on the 13 on the E, let it come down, and we're going to pull off 13, 12 to 10 on the E, play 10 on the B, and then just pick on the B, 13, 11, 10, 12 on the G, back to 11 on the B, G, 12, 10, D, 12, back to G, 10, 12, 10. So we play that first part slowly for you. Then we're jumping to the B string 15, play once, and then do a bend on 15 on the E, and then just let it come down and play 15, 13, 12, do 13, pull off the 12 on the E, to the B, 13, the G, 12, back to the B, 13, to the G, 12, slide back to 10, so. Then do a bend on the 12 on the G, bend and release on the 12, pull off the 10, 12 on the D, 10 on the G, and then we do that bend like we did at the start, bend on 12 on the G, hold 13 on the B, bend and release on 12, pull off the 10 on the G, 12D, 10G, 12, 10 on the D, 12 on the A, 10 on the D, and then to finish it off, A, 12, 11, 8, 10, pull off the 8 all on the A, and finish on 10 on the E. So that last little part slowly. That's the first solo there. Then the second solo kicks in, and you're probably best off to use your neck pickup there for this one, so let's jump into that. So we're going to start on 14 on the B, do a bend on 17 on the E, play 17, 16 on the E, and this whole next part's legato, so we have 17, pull off to 16, pull off to 14, hammer on to 16, pull off to 14, slide back to 12, hammer on to 14, 15, 14, pull off to 12, all on the E. Then jump to the B string, 14, pull off to 12, slide up to 14, hammer on to 17, pull off to 14, and then we have 16 on the G. Then we jump back to the B, 14, hammer on to 17, pull off to 14, back to 16 on the G. Then jump back to the B, 14, hammer on to 15, 14, 16 on the G. And to finish that little riff off, we've got 14 again on the B, hammer on 15, pull off to 14, jump to 16 on the G, 16, pull off to 14, 13, 14, 16, again all legato, jump back to the B, 14, 15, 14, then do a bend on 17 on the B, and then just 17, pull off to 14 there. So let me do that first part for you slowly. From there we're jumping back to the E string, bend on 15, play 14, pull off to 12 to the B string, 14, pull off to 12, hammer on to 14, hammer on to 15, pull off to 14, pull off to 12, slide up to 14, hammer on to 15, 17, pull off to 15, pull off to 14, then go to the G string, 16, 14, 16, 14, the D string, 16, 14, 16, 14, jump up to the A string, 14, 16, 14, 16, back to the D, 14, 16, back to the G, 14, 16, bend, and then play the 14. So that little part slowly now. And then from there we're jumping up to the E string and we're going to do a bend on the 19. Play 17, pull off to 16 on the E. 17, B, 16, slide to 14 on the G. So a little sweep there. And from there jump to the B string and all legato again. 12, 14, 15. Jump to the E string, 12, slide up to 14. 16, 17, 16, 14, slide back to 12, hammer on 14, 16, 14, 12, then jump back to the B string, 15, pull off to 14, pull off to 12, bend on 14, and then to finish that off, 14, 12, 14, 15, 14, 12. So then to finish that whole solo off, we have 14, hammer onto 15, pull off to 14, slide back to 12 and play 14, and then 14, pull off to 12, slide back to 10, play 12. So we have, and then 12, pull off to 10, slide back to 9, back to 10, and then just 10, pull off to 9. So that's all on the B string. Then we have this little sweeper arpeggio at the end, 11D, the G string, 11th fret, then B, 10, 9 on the E, hammer onto 14, pull off to 9, hammer onto 14, pull off to 9, back to 10 on the B, 11 on the G, 10 on the B, and then 9, hammer onto 14 on the E there. So let me play that last little part slowly for you from the 19. And that's both the solos there, so let's play it one more time up to speed. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this lesson. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you soon.